So it's my pleasure to introduce Sylvia Bergmann. She is the current volunteer coordinator at Transcare. Her role is to recruit, train and retain all the volunteers and placement students coming through here at Transcare. She's been with the agency for over 15 years and spent many of those working in Meals on Wheels coordinating and working with volunteers in that department. She stays close to Meals on Wheels for the passion of delivering to our clients. Okay, Sylvia, it's all yours.
I have been with the agency for quite some time, and yes, right now things have been very difficult in terms of coordination. If you don't know, Transcare is a not-for-profit corporation, and we have a basket of services that assist seniors living specifically in the Scarborough region. So things like in-home services, community dining, Meals on Wheels, just to name a few of the services that we provide to clients living in Scarborough. We have been greatly affected by the current situation of COVID. As you can imagine, just the programs themselves being affected and the clients being affected, and us having to try to continue to deliver services. So there's been a lot of cutbacks and changes, and we've had to adhere to many different protocols to keep volunteers safe, to keep our clients safe, and to try and deliver some of the services that are mostly necessary to clients living at home. So you can imagine that most people that want to stay at home in their homes, our programs are geared to offer them support. So Meals on Wheels is something that has continued since the beginning of the pandemic. And obviously it's been a big challenge without the majority of our volunteers. So I'd say at the beginning of the pandemic, the majority of our volunteers comprised of retired people. They stopped volunteering. So given the circumstances, that would make total sense. So that was about 45 people we lost that normally helped us deliver Meals on Wheels. So my job was to find new people. Easier said than done, especially during a pandemic. So we did get batches of people coming through the program. Obviously, we've had to use staff and redeploy staff, some in transportation, helping our program for the last year now to deliver meals to clients in home. So, volunteers are continuing to shed light on such a dark time. They give us great feedback, and the ones that are coming to our aid are obviously a lot younger than what we've used to have. A lot of people got laid off jobs, and so their regular employment ceased, and they came to aid us. So that was kind of a new thing for me, is to be working with a lot of younger people. The only problem with younger volunteers is they stayed for shorter time. So they came to volunteer with us for maybe 2-3 months, and then they had to start looking for employment. So a lot of people had struggles, either financial. So on the other end of providing a service that helps people, volunteers and people themselves had so many struggles and so many stories that I had to sort of filter through. How am I going to get people into the community? So the main thing that I can say is we've been successful at keeping volunteers into the program, specifically in Meals on Wheels. The other main program that I have been recruiting for is chat responders. So volunteers, younger people that can phone a senior and offer comfort and telephone reassurance became such an important program here at Transcare. So because clients are not participating in their regular activities and not engaged socially with maybe community dining and each other, they're at home, not doing anything. And often, I think, as you might attest to, you can kind of spiral into a negative headspace thinking all of this news is very negative all the time. So a lot of the volunteers that I enlisted we're willing to just phone people and check in on them and say, hey, how's it going? How are you? A lot of younger people had the time, majority of my students through the different schools, whether it be Seneca, George Brown, offered assistance this way, where we were able to recruit students and match them up individually to clients that were no longer getting their services, but at least they were offered, a chat, a chance to say, hey, how's it going? What are you watching on Netflix? What are you eating? Like, just light conversation, not meant to be therapeutic, but meant to be engagement in a positive way. And that has been quite successful for us. So those two areas are where I'm still looking for volunteers always, because the turnover is great. So as I said, people are always looking for work, which is primarily the thing that's happened. Things are so different for people. Finding volunteers is also very challenging because of those situations. So people, of course, there are safety protocols that we have put into place. So procedures that will help with pickup. We do things outside, curbside, a lot of different procedures for safety, masking, hand sanitizing. But the clients that we're delivering to are isolated seniors who live at home, and they're not really going anywhere. So you have to sort of look at that safety in itself. Yes, you're going out into the community, but I would think that it offsets if you feel okay yourself and you wear protection and you are willing to participate and help. I've had a lot of great feedback. I've recruited friends, I've recruited family. A lot of different people have come through, but the benefit is, like, you still get out of your headspace and you see other people. And that has been actually, for me, myself, a saving grace, that you get to stop a minute and go, let's get out into the community and see, everybody struggles, but having some normalcy in getting a meal, it's huge for a senior, and they often are so grateful, and it makes me grateful. So that is the spiel of Meals on Wheels. We're doing the best that we can, and working in nursing homes has been a big, huge adjustment. So we have 3 different facilities where the meals are prepared, and each one has had great shifts and changes with procedure, as you can imagine. Just for safety in itself, a lot of them kicked us outside, and we do curbside work outside to maybe disperse meals. But so far, we've had no incidents of, major COVID. So we're doing good. So overall, things are still positive, and I can only feel that they're going up as vaccinations will get rolled out. I know a lot of my volunteers speak to me about wanting to continue once they get vaccinated, that a lot of them will come back to the program and things will maybe settle down. But things are getting done. So as difficult as it is, we find small little nuggets of happiness and a lot of positive and happy clients. And that has been the best thing. And I get to come to work each day, which may seem scary for some people. I actually just stay in my office here. As you can see, I blurred it out because it's a little messy. But I will say that having just somewhere to go every day and something to focus on is a blessing. So that is where I'm at. And I think Marty, I've met a few times before, and Jim actually was very helpful in our recognition program with volunteers here at Transcare, formerly Scarborough Support Services. So I met Marty many years ago, and she probably might not remember, but I always remember her positive outlook on life, and I'm hoping I'm doing the same.
You are.
Thank you.
I can't imagine doing what you're doing at, like, when I was doing your job. And I've thought about it. I thought, oh my God, how is Sylvia doing this? Because, and you did it, you're doing it. You're doing it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes, of course, to how we do it. So I found that social media has helped, putting posts out there for people to see. And I even post out to my friends on my own personal social media saying, hey, if you're not working and you feel healthy, you should come over. And it's worked. A lot of my friends personally lost work, and I put them into the community. And of course, Zoom has become a new way for us to recruit. So many of the associations like TAVA and SAVA, we are connected with, which are associations for volunteers. We're Zoom meetings. It's all about the Zoom, and for the most part, a lot of the coordinators and managers of volunteers are able then to group together and talk. Most of what we're doing is using digital platforms to pool and recruit. So if it means a website like Volunteer Toronto has been huge in advocating for agencies like ours, where we're able to post what we need, whether it be recruitment for Meals on Wheels, as an example. We can put an ad, and they will pre-filter and screen applicants before they send them to me. And obviously, at the height of things, we had to do things quick and fast. Mm-hmm. So my normal procedures with police checks and all of these things kind of had to be lowered. Police checks take 8 weeks. And if you need volunteers right away to deliver meals, there was no way I was waiting 8 weeks for one police check to come back. So I like to call it fast tracking. But most of the people that we dealt with, if they were employed, I'm having to use my gut to say that they were good to go out into the community, and we would get a police check later. And for the most part, that worked. And a lot of other agencies I noticed did the exact same thing. We just had to work with people really quickly and engage them. And I had to make a video for training. I've never done this. Normally training is in person, and you take somebody in your car and you go out and you show them how to deliver Meals on Wheels. I had to think on my feet, and I used my cell phone and made a quick video to train volunteers coming into the program, and email everything out prior and get all their information and give them a good description on how to deliver, because I couldn't do any face-to-face. I did a little bit outside when we had good weather, but as you can imagine, doing everything curbside is challenging. But we're doing okay. And you have to look at those bright sides and those bright moments and take them. And that it's really about the clients that are so receptive and happy to continually get their meals, because there's a lot of insecurity with seniors that are isolated about getting food, whether it be grocery shopping or clients that have disability. That became, also an issue with the connections, because volunteers also provide a safety check when they're delivering a meal. They're reporting back to us that this person is okay, which is a huge component of Meals on Wheels, is that safety and security check for family to know, oh, did my loved one get their meal, and are they okay? Because they could be unwell and not reporting it. So that's a crucial part of this, job, is checking on seniors. And I realize that if you've lived through this time, seniors are so affected by COVID. So anyways, I could go on and on because I'm very passionate about seniors. Okay. So if you have questions for me, that'd be wonderful.
Does anybody else have any questions for Sylvia? Danny?
Yeah, actually, I was going to mention, and I don't know if it's changed. I get a vulnerable person's police check because I work in the hospital.
Yeah.
And if I go online or if I go to a police station, it does take weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
But if I go to Whitby Town Centre, I get it same day.
Yes, I've always known that there, for some reason, they provide a quicker service for a vulnerable sector check. So sometimes I do recommend it, or if we've had people that apply from out York region is much better as well. It's just the City of Toronto applications take the longest. I don't know why that is. If someone has had a previous application, I'd say from the last 2 years, I will still consider it. If they have an older copy of a vulnerable sector check or a police check, I always take that into consideration, that it's maybe just not up to date, but I will still look at it and use that and say, okay.
Yeah, it's sometimes when you apply for it, and this happened to me 2 years ago, they suddenly said that I was on a no-go list and I had to be fingerprinted. So,
yes.
So that
do you have
can
a
take
common last name?
No, I think I was male.
Yeah, I think the same thing happened to me. And you have to
so I had to be fingerprinted, but once you get fingerprinted, it's very, very quick.
Yeah, because you're in the system, and
yeah.
Once you're in the system, no problem for you.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Well, Sylvia.
Yes.
Do you? What's sort of the geography that you is on your doorstep that you have to deal with?
Our catchment area is pretty big. So I'd say as far north, it's like Victoria Park and Lawrence. It goes all the way down to Kingston Road. It goes all the way over to Fort Union by the zoo.
Mm.
Trying to think of the other side of the boundaries. So it's just the Scarborough region, but it's the thing about Scarborough is it's so diverse, like it's so big.
It is.
Yeah, so we do deliver to all of Scarborough.
Oh, that's
Wow.
Barry?
Yeah, I'm just, I remember Scarborough Support Services, and I was just wondering why the name change.
We changed the name with a formality of accreditation. So I believe it was a year ago, 2 years ago. Accreditation Canada is a certification, and we went through that certification process to be accredited with them. And once we did that, we did a name change.
David?
Sylvia,
Yes.
how many clients do you serve in a day or a week?
Okay, so yeah, I should have mentioned that. So Meals on Wheels is delivered 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. So volunteers are going out during the lunchtime period between 11:30 and 1:30. That's the window of delivery. So it's a daytime delivery. It's once a day, but there are some varieties. So we have the hot program, we have Chinese Meals on Wheels, and we have a frozen program. So frozen goes out twice a week. People that can order a package of, say, 5 or 7 meals to help them, they can pick and choose those items and get a delivery once a week. They would have to be fairly adapt to heating those meals on their own, where some people are just not capable and need a hot meal that is ready to eat. And that's why we have those varieties. And the Asian program is very Asian centered. It's made out of yi hong, so it's very diet specific to the types of things that they would normally have. But we just try to cover off everybody because diets are important. I would think you probably understand that. So some people need pureed food, some people need minced food, some have, high blood pressure. Those kind of meals are challenging, but the hot meal suits those better because they're made usually in nursing facilities where they can cater to the intolerances and diets. Yeah, I hope that answers that.
Question?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, you didn't tell us the numbers.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, you didn't tell us the numbers of clients.
Oh, number of clients. Oh, that's a good one. I'm just going to go back to here. I'd say last year, I think from our statistics in Meals on Wheels, where did it go here? There's over 1,000 clients were delivered. Let's see, 83,000 meals.
Wow.
So it's usually around 85, 90,000 meals a year that go out.
Couple more questions and that will be it. Alan, then Gordon, that will be it.
Oh.
Sylvia, you mentioned that you changed the name of the organization. I noticed you've changed your name. Did it have to go along with the change of the organization's name?
No, but I can tell you that that's a divorce.
Oh, I thought it was a marriage.
No, Bergmann is my maiden name. So I came from two German people, and I was born in Scarborough. So I was married for 23 years, and now I'm not.
Good.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, obviously you were a child bride if you were married for 23 years. But
Oh,
anyway,
bless your soul.
yeah, anyway, so
he's got all that German blarney in him.
anyway, it was my 60th birthday lately, so I will soon become a customer of yours, I'm sure. So do you deliver alcoholic beverages as well?
No, I can't say that we send out any beverages with the food. But I know there are beverage deliveries that are taking place. I recently had a birthday as well. And as anyone knows, COVID birthdays are, so you can't do any of the things you want to do. And my personal experience was I went to a funeral, a Greek funeral. So that is the worst birthday I've probably ever had. But the highlight was that my girlfriend sent me a wonderful meal, which included an adult beverage. I was like, I didn't know that restaurants could still, send out, lovely meal.
Okay,
Yeah.
Frank, you have a quick question, then that'll be it for the question.
This is for Marty. Hi, Marty. I'm very, very disappointed. I can't see you're still smiling.
I'm very disappointed too. I got dressed.
I just want to take you back to, and some of our members will know this. We used to do the Scarborough under your leadership. We used to do the recognition, voluntary recognition night. And I always remember that the Rotarian would host the table, and sitting at that table, and you chat round the people, to chat them. They were giving awards away for like 40 years of delivering, and I went round the table, and I couldn't believe this. Like, I thought, I'm in the presence of royalty here. You think you're doing something with the Rotary, you're doing your little bit here and there. I said, are you telling me you get in your car 5 days a week and you drive for 40 years? I mean, these people are the salt of the earth, So
I'm gonna add to that, because I have just been doing some nominations for provincial awards. Yeah. And normally what happens is we love to, obviously give accolades to our volunteers, and we can't do it the normal way we would do our presentations of awards. But I can tell you that some of the people that I wrote nominations for, like as an example, have done deliveries for 30 years or more. And that to me is just outstanding when someone can deliver meals 2 and 3 days a week for 30 years. Yeah. It's just incredible to me. Yeah. So
they did. And we had even people in their 90s who were doing some deliveries or doing the other program, Wheels to Meals, which was driving seniors to a luncheon. Yeah. So it was amazing.
I hosted an old friend and client of mine a few years ago, and he was close to 90. And he was saying, most of the people I'm taking places are younger than I am. So it was quite funny.
And that's the way it was, and probably still is. And Basil was a wonderful volunteer, and Dorothys' mother as well. Yeah.
I remember. I've seen that name.
Yeah.
Basil Diaz. Yeah.
Okay, Michael, you're scheduled to thank the speaker if you do that, please. And I have something to say to Sylvia.
It's my pleasure to thank Sylvia for a great presentation. We were all very interested in it, and I think many of the people here are part of a growing demographic that she will service in the future. And I think it's great that she filled us in on how she made adaptations to a difficult situation created by the pandemic. And it sounds like she's established procedures that are going to assist her going forward with her very good work and community involvement, wherein she, for seniors, provides a social aspect, a safety aspect of checking in on these people, and also meet some of the nutritional needs that they may have. So, Sylvia, thank you very much, and hopefully you'll come back another time and provide us with a further update on how things are going. Thank you.
I would love to do that.
Okay, now, Sylvia, don't go anywhere, because if I
won't go.
This...
I have a newsletter, our current newsletter, which has great information in it, and a message from our CO, Gurpreet Mathru. I'm going to send that to Gord, and he can send it out to all of you. I think it just gives good information that's current right now, and it has details for the website and anything else should anyone have any questions, or if they want to contact me about someone who needs hours for volunteering or would like to spend some time volunteering, you can always personally get a hold of me.